back to my channel. So today we're going to be talking relationship talk. Let me start by sitting down like a relationship manager or a consultant or something. Disclaimer, because this kind of videos you have to put a disclaimer. I am not a relationship manager or a coach or a consultant. None of that. Whatever you hear from me are just purely opinions and not facts, because what applies to Mr. A might not apply to Mr. B or Mr. C. But you know, in all of this, there are some things that are just like constant. So take the one that applies to you and then you can leave the rest. That's it. That's just it. So I watched a video from Noyerichi, the Noyerichi show. She had a couple come on her show and they talked about their relationship, their marriage. They have 2 boys and they've been married for 4 years. Now from that video, I picked out a lot of things, but there's some major things that like I heard. I'm like, this makes a lot of sense. So one of that is divorce happens before marriage. I know it's like I'm talking nonsense, but like just listen to what they had to say.
Divorce happens before marriage.
Yeah.
That's what one of my friends told me. And
What?
Divorce
Before marriage.
happens before marriage.
How?
And what he actually meant by that is we see the problems, we see the danger, we see the signs, but what we do is we close our eyes.
Yeah. Okay.
We say, no,
think
this
and
person will change later. And what you need to realize is that most adults have already formed their characters.
And
So
it
what
will
you're
get
seeing
worse.
is not going to change.
We're not like babies that
Yes,
teach to
they
change.
can adapt.
Okay.
So literally, what you see is what you get. But a lot of people like think they go into marriages believing, okay, she's like this, but since I like her so much, she's so beautiful, I can overlook this.
Okay.
And then at the end of the day, those same problems is what ends up driving them crazy.
Like he said, most adults have already formed their character and it's difficult to change. While you're in a relationship with somebody, there are so many things that you're going to see, except maybe the person is very pretentious or you just don't have the opportunity to see that. But I believe that if you want to see something, like if you want to really know how a person is, you can detect some things, and it doesn't really mean that you need to see it in action. There are some things that the person will do that you know that this person is capable of doing that. Let me break it down. Now, somebody that will go out and give, or you maybe let's say you visit somebody, let's say you visit your guy, and you guys are just there, let's say it's a family house, and you see that his younger sister did something to him, and the next thing he's just angry and gives her a hot slap, probably 2 hot slaps. My sister, that is a sign, because you're going to get to that point where you're going to be like a sister to him. So you don't have to actually see the sign. Like he doesn't have to beat you for you to know that this person has the tendency to be violent. The signs are always there. You just tend to ignore it, or you just say that nobody is perfect. You see, this thing called nobody is perfect is what has put so many people in trouble. Nobody is perfect, we agree, but there's a baggage that you can carry. Everybody has their issues, but there are some issues that you know that if these things come up in a marriage scenario, you can't deal with it. And because of the fact that you just be like, oh, nobody is perfect, the next person I'm going to meet is probably going to be worse, or I might not meet anybody that's as good as this person, because the person has other good qualities. You get stuck in the situation. But the truth is that the good is an enemy of the best. When you have something good, it stops you from, most times if you allow it, it stops you from going for something better. That's just the truth. Because you feel like if you lose this now, you might not get something else. But there's definitely someone out there that will probably give you, or will probably satisfy, or probably have the things that you're looking for. That's what I believe. So like I said, the good is an enemy of the best. It's one thing that you need to keep in mind. You may be with somebody that is good, but this person has a baggage that you cannot carry. It's too heavy for you. So why will you carry something? Why will you try to carry? Imagine if as I am like this, I want to lift a weight of like, how much can I carry? Let me say a bag of rice. I can carry a bag of rice. Or 2 bags of rice. I want to carry 2 bags. Oh, no, yes, I can carry. Let's just use a bag of rice. I decide I want to carry a bag of rice, knowing fully well that it is heavy. I'm going to carry that bag of rice. But how far can I go with it? Right? It's going to get to a point where it's going to weigh me down, because I know that it is very heavy. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? when you're in a relationship with somebody, you're going to see the signs, and those things that you're ignoring and things that are going to be a problem for you when you eventually get married, or when you're in a marriage setting or in a marriage scenario. That's the way I look at it. And marriage itself is already a lot of work. I'm not married but I know that marriage is a lot of work, because normally being a human being is already hard. Trying to grow, trying to build yourself, dealing with yourself as a person, it's already hard. Then you now picture marriage where you're not carrying another human being and you have to live together, or you have to do things together, you have to coexist is the word, you dummy. It has to be difficult. There's nothing anybody can tell me. That's why when I see people saying like, oh, marriage is not an achievement, yes, I believe, no, let me not even say marriage is not an achievement, because for me, I don't feel like just being marriage on its own, I don't feel like it's an achievement, but being happily married, happily married, English, being happily married is a big achievement. Out of, say, 100 couples that are married, it's probably not even up to half that are happy in the marriage. So if you are in a position where you're happily married, what am I even saying? If you're in a position where you are happily married, my sister, you have achieved a lot. My brother, you have achieved a lot. Just the same way you have a lot of people that are single and they're not happy. It's the same way we have a lot of couples that are not happy. So now, if you now have a situation where marriage is hard, then inside that marriage that is already, I don't want to call it a baggage, but let's just use that term to describe it. So now you now have marriage that is already heavy. You now carry that your 50 kg weight and put on top. It's going to weigh you down. Now let's even look at it like this. If people were to carry the right baggage, like you carry the one that you can take, I feel like the matchmaking will be better. Don't carry the baggage that is not for you, or the baggage that you can't take. Am I making any sense? But I'm just saying, just look at it from that angle, because that just came into my head. Like, if everybody takes their own baggage, then we are going to all be with our right baggage. Now, the second point I got from this video is that they hardly fight.
What's the most common thing you guys have fought about? Like, what do you guys, what's common?
First
what's
of all,
most
we
common?
hardly ever fight. Like, hardly ever.
That's why I'm like,
in fact, most times,
Yes, was it at once.
even if we're fighting, we ask ourselves, what are we fighting about?
we hardly fight, really. I can't even remember the last fight we did.
And I don't know
Did
what
we
we
even
fought
fight or
about.
quarrel?
For 4 years to 4 years.
Yeah, it's
Even our
amazing.
relationship, the only issue we had during the relationship was, why you not taking your calls? Like, you're getting me
Communication.
worried.
Yes, like let's say for some reason, like I could be at my cousin's house and I fell asleep.
Yes,
That
and
kind
I
of
call, I'm worried that maybe he's not okay. That's the only time I know that. But seriously,
And very infrequent.
What could be the reason?
Because
friendship,
Yeah.
communication,
exactly. Once you
no
understand,
secrets.
once you understand each other perfectly,
Yeah.
then what do you?
I
It's
respect
like
him, he respects
what I tell
me,
her,
so-
right? What I tell her is that
That's it.
if I'm hurting her, it's like I'm hurting myself.
Yeah, of course.
So why would you fight yourself?
I want to cry.
You need a patient man.
I really, really like the fact that they made mention of this, or they talked about this, because it almost got to the point where you just feel like, okay, in this relationship, there has to be quarrels, there has to be fights. Yes, I don't dispute the fact that definitely there must be a misunderstanding on certain things, but it doesn't really have to be the order of the day. Do you get? Like, there are sometimes you feel like you and this person, you guys are always in a good space, you know, you hardly have issues and stuff, and you start feeling like, oh, this guy is not being real, he's not being genuine, because he's not fighting. That's how people see things. Even on a normal, in a normal scenario where we have, let's say, you have a reality show, or you have a celebrity that is peaceful. People that are peaceful are termed unreal. Like, you have to fight because you feel like that is the way to go. Some people go as far as creating fights. Like, you want to cause problems so that you fight, so that you know that, okay, yes, this person is okay, like, we are being real. Some people even break up from relationships that are very peaceful because they feel like this person is the devil, but he's not showing it. It's not everybody that is troublesome now. It's not everybody that likes fight. I think maybe it's because of, it has to be based on experiences that they've had and stuff, or maybe the experience the person has had in the past, or maybe the person that's just how people perceive it. But I'm happy that this couple came out to say that they hardly fight. This is a 4 years relationship. It might not be so much like all the ones we hear of 10 years, 25 years, but the truth is that this first 4 years is usually the hardest for most couples. From what I've heard, the first few years is the hardest for most couples. So for them to be able to go through this part like this, then it's something to like really look at. And now there's another lesson to learn from this. Understanding is very, very important. I, for one, I'm somebody that I believe so much in the fact that if couples are able to really understand each other, there'll be less problems. And then friendship, like they said in their video, you actually need to watch the video because they said a lot of things that made sense. So friendship is very important because I feel like it's during the friendship process or when you're being friends with the person, you'll be able to understand the person better. There are times where the love will not be shacking you, and all you need in that scenario is that friendship, being able to communicate actively. Like, you're not all lovey-dovey, but you're communicating. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, you're not all but you're communicating. You can have good communication on a regular day. It doesn't have to be about love. And then coming back to the situation of the fact that they hardly fight, I feel like couples need to understand that it's not a fighting, it's not Mortal Kombat that people are doing. Or let me just say that fighting all the time is not normal. It's not just the normal thing that should happen. The only reason you'll be fighting all the time is if you don't understand each other. It's okay to hardly have a fight. I even watched a video where Will Smith and his wife, was it Will Smith and his wife? I think so. They talked about the fact that I think from a certain point of their relationship, or before, for like over 5 years or so, they never raised their voices on each other. Like, probably they had misunderstandings, but like they never used curse words or raised their voices on each other. They talked about them them training themselves to be like that. Like, they had to. It was a conscious effort.
Said, Jada, this is the deal. I grew up in a household where I watched my father punch my mother in the face.
Damn.
And I will not create a house, a space, an interaction with a person where there's profanity and violence. If you have to talk to me like that, we can't be together.
Wow.
We're not going to use any profanity in our interactions. We're not going to raise our voice. We're not going to be violent. I can't do it.
Yeah.
She was like, well, you're not going to be hitting me in my head. I said, get out.
Dang.
Right? And she was looking, that was the dumbest crap she had ever heard in her. She was like, wait, so you would break up with me over some words? I was like, yeah, I just did. I was like, we're not cursing.
Damn.
And her eyes welled up with tears. And she was like, okay, it was 20 years before we used profanity in any conversation that we had. We didn't use any profanity in any argument. We never raised our voices. We took communication courses, all of that.
That's beautiful.
And we never had violence.
You never raised your voice?
We didn't raise our voices.
We couldn't afford to. We just couldn't because
it could get
ugly.
There are so many ways to pass information or to tell somebody something. Like, it doesn't have to be shout. You can correct somebody without raising your voice, and the person is not an animal that the person will not hear. You can correct somebody with love. Let me just put it that way. There are different ways to correct somebody with love, and not when you're correcting somebody. There are people that if they want to fight, if they want to quarrel, they use the worst statements. They use the most hurtful words on you, and you now be like, how did this person do this? Personally, I can't relate. I can't relate because I don't understand. When you're angry, those things that you're saying, people assume that this is what you really feel, or this is how you really feel. So using those words on somebody when you're angry, it's going to stick to the person. Like, it will just keep building, and if the person is not someone that expresses their mind, they will just keep bottling it up until it gets to the point where they just explode. In the case of misunderstanding, always watch what you say. It's not because you're angry that you will now be talking anyhow, and you think that the person is not going to take it to heart. There's hardly anything you say to that person that will not stick. So what do you guys think about this couple situation, and What do you think is the real cause of breakups in relationships? Let me know what you think about couples not having constant arguments and what you feel like is the cause of breakups in marriages, relationships and stuff. Like, what exactly is the issue? Or why, let's say somebody's marriage, you love the person like with all your heart today, and the next thing you guys are separated within 1 year or less. So what do you think is, do you feel like the signs are always there? For me, I feel like the signs are always there, but if you feel like that's not the case, then let me know in the comment section. And if you're still here till this time and you've not liked this video, what happened now? Please give this video a thumbs up, drop a comment, turn on your post notifications. I'm going to see you guys in the next video. Bye.